Hi, I'm Mahesh Vilani, back again. Today's subject that I am dwelling on is something which everybody is talking about. Today, the health issues are like vitally important in living. With the kind of food that you get, with the kind of life that you lead, with the kind of air that you breathe, just about everything is actually spoiling your health. Now, if it's spoiling your health, what we should do? We have to look after our health. But if today, if you go to a doctor, you shudder to think going to a doctor because the amount that you have to pay fees and all that, actually you only go to a doctor when it's very very important, which means there are no other options, then only you go to a doctor. And even if you go to a doctor, you start thinking which doctor charges less, which doctor charges more. If a doctor charges more, that means he's more specialized, that's why he's charging. But many differ on that also. Now I talk to a lot of people on the road, in the malls, in the restaurants, even in cities. Now everywhere, if you see my interview with them, my talk with them, you would probably not find me, because all the doctors, medical fraternity, everybody will catch me by the collar, because everybody, 99% of the population in India is against the doctors, the medical fraternity, the medicines, the insurance companies, just about anybody. And their common grievance is that they are fleecing us. They are money makers. They are black marketers. They are giving us medicines uselessly. They are asking us to go for reports uselessly, which is uncalled for. Now, if that was evidence, but I'm telling you, I can give you the names that people have said this. So now, I would think probably we'll have to draw a line somewhere. What is the remedy for this? If today going to a doctor, buying medicine is very expensive and we are avoiding it, only when it becomes vitally important, if it's a life and death question, then only we are rushing to hospitals or visiting a doctor. Now, one thing I think, uh, the video that I'm doing here is actually balancing act. I want not one side to say everything, not the other side to be disturbed. So actually now you have to admit that technologically there are a lot of advancement made. While technology breakthroughs in diagnostics and treatments save lives, they come at a hefty price. Hospital and clinics must recover the cost of acquiring and maintaining state-of-the-art equipment, which is definitely reflected there in the bills. Then these days it's a time of specialized expertise. We want everywhere the doctors are better when they are specializing either in kidney care, liver care, cardiologists as in hospital, heart or brain or cancer. Everywhere now there is specialized expertise that is wanted. Now for this expert and specialized expertise that you're wanting, those people who have done these courses to become very special have paid a lot, literally through their nose. So they would want their money back, like everybody else. When you paid something, that you want your money. Uh, then again, the pharmaceutical costs have also increased. Uh, as you can see, that the medicines have become very expensive. In fact, we are lucky in India that there are some medicines which are much cheaper. But the same medicines, if you go abroad, what costs here about 200 costs about 7 to 8 thousand. Uh, Maybe that's priced in dollars, but that the parity is not just not there. And then again, today, if you go to a doctor, so they are also having their administrative overheads. They are paying if they are working in a hospital, or if they are sitting in a hospital in their visiting hours and other thing. And there is this healthcare systems which are state of the art, and your comfort is seen. Your hands are very nicely sanitized, and everything is very good, up to date. It's a pleasure going into any hospital or a nursing home, and they look more like a five-star hotel, which is, again, this has been taken care of. Now many of the patients might say, the people who are suffering, that we don't want that five-star treatment, we want just the patient to be taken care of. But today, in that kind of atmosphere, which is air conditioned, you're not sweating, you're not it's very congenial and good for everybody. Now, most of the people, the common people, complain that there is no transparency in the medicines, the charges, and they just about tell us to take this medicine, that medicine. Who's supposed to keep a tab on them, whether this is required or not? Now, for all this and all the grievances that they have, I am very much with them, because I'm also part of it. That I have to also go sometimes to a hospital, taking someone, my relative or someone, or maybe even for little things like fever or viral and all. You do go to the doctors, but let me tell you now. So the doctors have their issues, their problems, and the common people, the arm army, also have their problems. So, what should be the middle line? I think the middle line is that the government should have a regulatory body overlooking the health system, only the health system, very specially, because if, like they say, the most important thing for people to live is good health. If you have good health, then you got everything. Even money is not so important compared to good health. And if that's true, the government must think about it and give health the first preference and make things easy. Now, by easy, I'm not saying cheap. Now, where it's very expensive. Now, some doctors charge 3,000, 4,000 visiting fees, but then they're so special. Look, it's between life and death. When your patient is almost dying, then you are trying to say that I'm willing to give everything, all my money, all my systems, I'm willing to give it to save my kith and kin. So if that's true, then that's not a big price that we are paying. Because one thing is sure, once you visit a hospital or a doctor, you feel 90% now you're okay. Even if he's told you that you're suffering from this or that, but at least you come back home relaxed. If at all, he allows you to go back home fast enough. Uh, Now, the second thing is that if it's a question of life and death, and it'll a disease which probably can't be cured, the only option is you have to go to the hospital. Now, there are ways to safeguard you. There are hospitals which are free. There are government, many state governments also, and all over the world who help and pay almost 100% of the health fees or expenses, which is very good. Here, I would suggest probably if there is a world body all joining together and forming an association where if the doctors are cheaper in India, get them on board. If the medicines are cheaper, say in Sri Lanka or Pakistan, get the medicines from there. If the nurses are cheaper in Nepal or other places like Kerala, get them from there and put them all in a common body. And so that the purpose is to help in healthcare. I think that's the only way because there are a lot of things. A healthcare system involves a lot of areas, a lot of departments. So somewhere you have to pay more, somewhere lesser price you are getting it. But when you join together again, it becomes pricey. And finally, I have not mentioned about the health insurance. Health insurance today has also become very expensive and it's so difficult to understand the health insurance. There are 10, 20, 30 pages and the finer print, I don't know what they write, which is they are safeguarding themselves. Now, when you go to the hospital, they say this doesn't cover this area, this doesn't cover that area. So again, the insurance companies are there to make profits. They have shareholders. So are the hospitals today, which have become big and they are branded hospitals. They also have to show profits. So if everybody has to show profits, then the expenses someone has to bear. You have to build the cat. Now, that's where the government must step in, and I would think probably the government will step in here and think about it. The government knows about it, and in videos like this, they must understand that it is really an issue. But having said this, I also interviewed a lot of doctors, and here there is one GP from Mumbai, Dr. Dunn, and this is what he had to say. So we might as well hear him and his side of the story and come to conclusions like what is true, what is right, is there no way out, or is there a way out but we are not finding it? Is there a way, but the government is not giving any prominence to that? All this and more. Hear the doctor first.
Hi, myself, Dr. Dadan. I'm a general physician. My opinion regarding the quality of medical professional is being a little bit downgraded. I may not say it is down, but downgraded. The reason that I believe, see, a person perception is there, opinion is there. So, in my general view is that it may be because of the quality of selection at the ground level. It means, I mean to say, if you imagine on a baseline, a person who's scoring 99 cannot get an admission into the college because of his values and qualification. And the other thing that I would like to say is that on the upper hand, the one who has money or who's in quota, in spite of having low percentage, they still get the seats. So that is one of the reasons that I believe that the quality of medical opinion, suggestions, the actual work profile and the working line has gone down. And nowadays, you might have also heard that there is a lot of people who run around for the second opinion. By any, you get something sick or you get a report, you run for a second opinion. That is also because of this fear in the mind of people that whether this person is really trying to mint the money what he has spent it in his educational life, or he's actually giving a right opinion. So,
So that means now doctors are not treated as God.
no, I believe, yes, there are people who are still being treated as a god, but as per time, this god will go and the devil will get arise. And the devil is nothing but the money which is behind and which is the main culprit, which is inducing people.
Okay, doctor, I would like to know why has medical treatment, medical assessment, and everything that goes with it become so damn expensive today?
See, it's a huge racket. I may not say racket word, it's an indecent way to propose it. I say it is a huge money minting making, targeting that has been done by the pharma companies, I can say, because see, they are the one who sponsors it, and the other part is the health insurance. If you go behind 20, 25 years, where were these? There was not like that.
Health insurance as in what? What does it play?
See, health insurance, the one who, it narrows down, or it, targeted some particular process, test, and investigation prior to a particular, procedure or whatever you would like to do as per your doctor's advice. Earlier, there were minimal tests and there were good results. Though at that point of time, because of non-development of good drugs or latest drugs, the health light efficiency might be on a lower side. But yes, the results were great. But nowadays, if you want to go for this has to be done. So this has to be done. That's hashtag comes from where?
You are operating in Mumbai?
Yeah, I'm
In a city like Mumbai,
Yeah.
don't you think also to make a living, to have your needs fulfilled and all that, you also have to keep up with the Jonases, in this case with the other doctors?
See, in that contrary, I would like to just say, whatever is written in your faith, you be a doctor, lawyer, or you're going to earn, will be there in your plate. But if you go beyond your karma, the karma hits back to you. For an example, what I have discussed or what I have said earlier, imagine a person who's going to treat you with a caliber of 60%. So just imagine tomorrow you'll be on the same table, and the 90% doctor is there sitting in the couch outside, on maybe on a cash counter or somewhere else, and one who has just because of his money or because of his quota, he's gone inside. What will be your value left? Do you still think that money is more prior or important than health and life?
So, doctor, with all your views that I have got, they were fantastic. What is your bottom line? Like now, the doctors are not looked upon as God, and they're more villainous. Because you are very scared to go to a doctor because you know that he will, he'll be a pocket mar. In other words, like they say.
Not all, but yes, you can say there are some nowadays.
Yeah, you can be an exception. But so, what is your bottom line?
See, my bottom line is that to eat healthy, be updated with your knowledge of what is going on, and have your regular checkups. See,
But checkups are also very expensive these days. They're also professionally. You have to do this, that test.
in that way, to some extent, these corporate people have made some good decisions. Also, you have packages. So if you gradually keep a health check on your life, definitely tomorrow an XYZ will not stand up and say, oh, you have this, and that has to be done.
But doctor, again here also, you want a health checkup every year, every 6 months, every 3 months. I can't afford that.
No, not everyone. One who is having a precondition, who have a strong family history,
Okay.
I'll advise them. And one, basically, a female who's above 45, or I can say someone who are outside their menopausal phase, and guys who are above 55.
So doctor, they say an apple a day keeps a doctor away. क्या आजकल वो लागू होता
Do
है?
you think that today's apple is like that apple that was being, when this statement was being made? It's
Oh,
today's
with that,
apple.
with that, doctor, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Same here. Glad. Thank you.
Doctor, also, now you have both sides of the story. So I would think probably that we must uh, just learn to accept a lot of things. We must get together and probably find organizations and complain that it is now beyond the reach of most of the people. Lower middle class, definitely. Poor people, no chance. But then there are special hospitals for them. But the middle class is suffering. And the middle class is the larger chunk of the Indian society. Why Indian? Even I think Southeast Asia. So SARC is one body which covers 7, 8 countries from Southeast Asia. If they got together and did something, I think it will be very helpful. Tell me, how did you like this video? In your comment section, please ask questions. That's the only way I could come to know. And from now onwards, I will have someone in my studio come in and talking to me. Even for that, please give your suggestion. Do you like just me talking, or do you want someone on board? But if whatever someone on board would say, I'm making it short and giving it to you. With that, this is Mahesh Gulani signing off. See you again.